Hi, welcome. I am about 2 minutes early. Um, so if you are here, I welcome you. It is Wednesday, January 25th, and I think I missed a week last week. I've been under the weather for a couple weeks. I suffer from an immune disorder, and it means that it takes me a little longer to get through things. I appreciate your patience and watching repeat videos occasionally when that happens. I do try to be here every week if possible because there's so much to share with you. And again, I'm going to hold off just a minute because I know a couple people like to join on at 7 or just after. And there's a lot going on in the evenings. While we get started, I do want to share with you that I have a host code for this week. It is in the description of this video. It is actually through the entire month of January. So as long as you order by January 31st, you will be entered into my my drawing for the host benefits for this party. It's just a special January event that I thought would be fun. And if you get some free stuff out of it, what would that hurt, right? So you could win the hostess benefits, which is free products through ordering with that host code this month. You can also get free stuff from Stampin' Up. So we have a promotion this year. It's one time a year for this following year. We have in the past had them twice a year. And this year they're just doing it in January and February. So this month and next month, if you spend $50 or $100, you can choose from selected items. And of course, it accumulates. So if you spend 150, you could get three $50 freebies or $100 freebie and a $50 freebie, however you want to mix and match all of those freebies. If you are spending $150 or more, go ahead and skip the host code and put your own order in, and you would already get the host rewards from your own order. And if you're spending that, let me tell you about our sign up for January. So we do have a really great sign up special for the month of January. There are three options. We have an exclusive boho blue machine. I'm going to switch screens while people are hopping on, hopefully. This is the new boho blue machine, and I'm going to pull mine out to share. It's so pretty. So this machine is fabulous, nice and tiny. Many of our die cuts will fit through this. And so that is one of the items that you can choose when you sign up in the month of January. If you're like me and you want it all, which is how I got into this, you would want to join and save yourself a few pennies. And if you're addicted like I am to crafting, I've been doing this for over 20 years now. And I absolutely love using my stamps and paper. I can't wait to show some exciting paper to you in just a moment. But we do have three options. So the first option is for $129. You can choose the blue boho blue mini die cut machine and $175 worth of products, free shipping. For $129, if you don't like blue, you could get the white one, and $175 of Stampin' Up product, again, free shipping. Option 3, let's say you're not interested in one of these, you want just paper, stamps, ink, whatever. You can do $175 worth of product for $99, and again, free shipping. So if you're a want it all, or even you might want to start a small business, this is the time of year to do that. This sale is fabulous. And let's see. So I'm going to start with um, a special project for your home. And then at the end, if you stick around, I'm going to share how to create an envelope for an awkward sized card. I created a card for a coworker who got married on Saturday, and it doesn't fit into my standard envelope. So I needed to create an envelope. So I will show you how to do that at the end. And before I dive right in, I'm going to put this right here because this is what instigated today's project, one of the Sale-A-Bration items. And I saw somebody did, I think, a shadow box, like a 8.5-inch shadow box. And that sparked my idea for the wedding card that I made. And I also have at home one of these 12 by 12 shadow boxes. So this one is brand new. I have not done anything with it. I thought I was going to do the love cats, but when I saw this, I was like, oh no, we are going to fill this shadow box with something even more fantastic than the love cats. So this is going to be a project that features the Dainty Flowers DSP, which is free with a $50 purchase. And I actually have a whole brand new pack because I would love to share what this paper entails. You will get 2 sheets of, I think there's 6 different prints in here. So you have 12 sheets that are double-sided, 2 of each. Let me see if I can pull this out of here. Oh, there we go. All right. So here is the first side of the first sheet. And oh my goodness, like, wow, right? All right. So this is your first sheet. You get 2 of these. You would get 2 of these. I actually used a half of one of these in our project tonight. And here's the back of this one. Again, just very, very beautiful. I wish that this were my creative talent, but it's not. So we'll just use somebody else's. Get a sheet, 2 sheets of this, which has these wonderful little ovals with a little bit of flower spray. And here's the B side, which, I mean, that's gorgeous by itself. Here is the next design. We'll flip this one over. A nice pale polka dot. Ooh, Easter. Like egg wraps, egg cup holders, Easter bunny themed items. That purple just screamed Easter to me. Again, some more of that beautiful purple color. Hi, Mary. You're on watching YouTube. Awesome. This is the piece I used to create the envelope for the wedding card, the bridal card. And here is that last piece. This beautiful pink on the background. So that is the wonderful Dainty Flowers DSP. Again, during Sale-A-Bration, free with a $50 purchase. And our featured product for the night. So I'm so excited. I have that 12 by 12 shadow box that I want to use. And so I decided, after seeing somebody on Facebook, another demonstrator, had this amazing circle, almost like a wreath of flowers. And I said, oh my gosh, I could totally do that. And oh, that's perfect for this wedding card. So I've gone ahead and started this because there was no way I was going to sit here and cut for God only knows. I think about an hour is what it would have taken for you to see this. So this is fussy cutting. Essentially, I took the spectacularness of this paper and I cut it. So let me pull out the piece that I said I started with. So I started with these large printed flowers, and you'll see I fussy cut all of these. This is only 1/2 of a sheet. Now I could have done the other half, but I really wanted to have a little bit of airiness to this. So I started with my largest pieces spaced out on the back so you can see that I have some color. And let me tell you about what papers I used down here. Let me see if I can pull this up a little bit further. Not really, because then you won't be able to see anything else. Okay, so this is a 12 by 12, very vanilla background piece. And then I did a 10 by 10 sheet of our linen paper, and it almost looks identical because it's so thin, it'll show whatever's behind it. So I like that there's a texture to it, just like a matting, but it's subtle because I really liked the tone on tone look. Then I did a layer of 8.5 by 8.5 of basic white thick cardstock, followed by 8 by 8 in the very vanilla. This is our oh gosh, I forgot the name of our circle punch all of a sudden. It's our decorative circle punch, and I actually have 2 of them punched out. What I did with this first one on the inside, I just put like 3 dimensionals towards the center, and I've put that on there. Now, when I go to put this one on, I am going to turn this and offset it just a little bit. If I want to put a sentiment in here or a saying of some sort for my wall, that's where that would go. And I haven't decided if I want to make this a dimensional layer as well. Since it's going in a shadow box, I like that level of dimension that it's going to offer. One of the things I like about these longer pieces is that I was able to kind of curl them. So I basically just kind of used my fingernails and curled them. So I held off on a few of them so you could see how easy this is to just kind of add a little bit of extra dimension with these flowers. Scratching it. If you have absolutely no fingernails, I'm sure your fingers themselves would work. You could very, very lightly scrape your bone folder on here, or I mean, a plastic knife or a butter knife would even work if you're not collecting these kinds of items yet. So this gives me a little bit of dimension. I'm going to do that with some of them as I go along. And let me show you what the 30 minutes of cutting can get you. This is about a half a sheet, maybe possibly a tiny bit more of this one right here. So maybe 2/3 of a sheet of this floral paper. And I just spent about 30 minutes cutting because I was worried that it would take forever to cut on camera. So what I'm going to do now is kind of divide them by color and size. So most of these are roughly the same size, but I do have some itty bitty pieces. And what I'll do with these teeny tiny pieces, they'll be the last thing that goes on. And they're just some little ornamental extras because they are so small. So some of the colors are like a rich raspberry color, and we have this wonderful crushed curry yellow in here. So kind of put those together. So when I'm putting them in, I can balance them out color-wise. Let's see. So some of these are going to be off camera just because I'm spreading them out. I apologize for that. And then I did a lot of extra greenery this go round because I really liked how it looked when I had the greenery on the wedding card, so I did a little extra for this one. When you are cutting out your paper, you can target one area of the print versus another. So let's look at this right here. So on most of mine, I cut them and I took out that purple. So you can see I did not include this. But in this one, I went ahead and included it. And depending on where I place that, the purple will either be seen or it won't. So you can kind of decide if you want that purple piece to be seen later on. I've got like 2 or 3 of these cut out. There's a lot of yellow, and of course it's a nice pop of color because it's a really bold yellow. Okay, so now I'm just going to move these out of the way so that I can bring back in my shadow box background here. And now we're just going to build, and we're going to kind of grow smaller as we go in. So some of these are going to go right at the edge. If you have one that comes out, you're just going to want to make sure that one of your next pieces covers up that junction like that. Let's see. So I did dry fit some of these bigger pieces before I actually glued them down. I am simply using the glue. I'm putting a little bit of glue on the end, and then I just stick that. That's how I'm able to do that little curly feature there. Purple. Okay. So I'm just going to build for a moment. And so while I do that, let me come over here. And I'm going to add a little bit of Feeding the Ducks music from StreamYard. That's not too terrible. I guess we could survive with that for a few minutes while I simply add in some pieces here. So I have a lot of purple down here. I want to make sure I balance that out. Again, I might put that up a little bit. You can see how I tucked this one right under here. And now I'm going to go around with my yellows. And I'm just building on each piece here. And I'll probably add some curvature to these once they're dry so I can make sure I don't damage any of them. You can push in or pull out as far as you're comfortable. Wherever the colors take you, just to add some variety and variation in where they land. Sometimes I get stuck not knowing where to put some. It's just my obsessiveness going in there. All right, I don't have very many of these blues, so I'm gonna try to balance them out here. I'm gonna push it in even further. And then I'm gonna put the other one on the other side. So I'm just kind of looking, and I might want a little more here. So when I do these pinks, I'm going to make sure I get these guys over here. And let's see, I'm even going to lift this a little bit. Felt like I needed a little more this direction. Now I have some greenery to put on, and if I decide this is not enough at the end, I can always come back and add some more in later. I am going to tuck some greenery in and around, whatever makes sense. Now that I have some of these in here, I'm just going to curl this a little bit. I can see kind of where my under pieces look, stick out. Might even turn it. Oh yeah, so I want to put a little bit of stuff down here. So here's where some of these little pieces can also come into play, because I can make this one stick out from under here, and it will give me just enough extra back here. I know it doesn't always have to be cards. That is definitely one of the things I love. And I actually had this memory pop into my head last week regarding that exact statement. When I first started stamping, we had these home decor stamps or decorator stamps. And I had this weird drop ceiling in my kitchen, and I was able to, I like taped off in a crisscross pattern, like a lattice work, and I was able to take grapevine stamps. We had like grape leaves and a bundle of grapes, and those were stamped on my drop ceiling in my kitchen with my lattice work paint job. It was pretty interesting. And I remember that I did stamps on a quilt for my oldest son. I did a white panel across the center of a little tiny baby blanket for him, and it had like a sailboat theme. We had some fabric ink, basically stamp pads. So there are lots of ways that you can use different products from Stampin' Up! To embellish different areas of your life. It doesn't always have to be cards, for sure. I'm just filling this one in right here. It's a little too much white space right there. Let's see. So now I'm at the point where I decide, do I have too much or is it just enough? I might even have to hold it away. It looks like I might need a couple extra of the larger flowers here and there, but that might have to come in off camera. Let's see if I can throw a couple of things in here to balance it out. And I could probably go nuts and do a whole nother sheet of paper, but at some point you have to be comfortable with leaving it at less is best, which not all of us are good at, but everything in moderation, right? Except Stampin' Up! Products. So I'm holding it and I'm kind of looking at it from a distance just to make sure that it's kind of in a wreath pattern and not completely too heavy on one side versus another. And I think it is pretty good. I just want to throw a couple of these last two pieces on, and I am probably going to call it done because I don't want to go overboard. Last one. I feel like it needs to be over here, but I don't think so. I'm going to put it down in here. Okay. Put it up just a little bit. So I could add another tiny layer on the inside, but again, I think it pretty much has everything it needs. I've got a couple little pieces that stick out. So now I am going to determine if I just want this or if there's a saying. I didn't pick that part out just quite yet. I don't know. I'm going to look around behind me. Something fancy. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do nothing fancy, just love. And I'm going to do it in rich raspberry, because that is my favorite color in all of these. So let's razzleberry. Really nice having things nearby. So you can see I have not put this one together. So let me show you quickly. I'll move that out of the way because I'll wear it. So we're going to do nothing fancy, just love. Hold that off. I'm going to put it face down here. That is the sticky side. Let me turn off our music. Okay, so we can go back to this. Now our rubber stamps come with this paper backing on them. So you simply pull that off, and this piece has a paper backing as well, and it's going to be super, super sticky under here. So I'm just going to pull that paper backing off. And I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to line up this stamp so that it matches. Let me move that up a little further. And I just like to go slowly, and then I push down, pull that up. And of course it's going to be super sticky, but that is what that looks like. So now I'm going to do nothing fancy, just love. And I need to refill this one, so stamping all over it. I'm going to put this right in the center here and pray that it works when I stick it on there and offset it. I didn't really think that far ahead, so move that out of the way. Actually, I'm going to put that really far out of the way so I can do that envelope in a moment. So I am going to put this up on dimensionals. And because I want it to really pop up high, I am going to use a bunch of the mini dimensionals to give it some stability. Because we really don't want that to disappear in our shadow box. And I'm just going to pull these off. And yes, sometimes I make a big mess. All right. And now I'm going to put this on. Like I said, I make a big mess. Okay. Oh, and there's one hanging like a Chad from the Florida voting days. Oh, man. How did that happen to be just so perfect? Let me see if I can pull that close for y'all to see how it just gives that extra little fluff right there. And this is our shadow box. So I will put this into the shadow box when I get off of my live, and I'll make sure to post that to my Facebook page for you to see what it looks like inside the shadow box. And feel free to leave all kinds of feedback for me. Just go ahead, and I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't damage it at all. Oh, I'm so excited about that. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is share what it would look like to make your own envelope. So I made a 5.5 by 5.5 inch card last week. That's what it was. And of course, I didn't have an envelope that fits 5.5 inch. So I'm going to create a 5.5 inch base very quickly. So I will share how I did that. So I took my 8.5 by 11 paper. I don't know why this is so close up today. You can see. All right. So 8.5 by 11. I'm going to cut this at 5.5 so that I have essentially 2 inches cut off of this paper. Hope I did that right. And then I'm going to score it at 5.5. I didn't do that right. Oh, messed that up. Why is that not right? It needs to be 5.5 inches this way. So I didn't subtract correctly. So 5.5 by 5.5. So I cut off 3 inches. So there is our paper. I'm going to actually keep this out for a minute because I'm going to need that. Push this aside. And I am going to get a piece of 12 by 12 paper. One of these beautiful DSPs. And let's see. I think this is such a tough decision. I think I'm going to use this fancy piece here. This will be the inside because I really think this is quite creative, but I might change my mind because I kind of want to use those ovals for something later. Oh, goodness. This is how lives go, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see. Let's use this one. So this will be the inside and this will be the outside. Other way around. This will be the outside with this on the inside. All right, because we want to be able to write on it. So outside, inside. Now, the way I did this was to lay my card on the inside, roughly centered it, and then I kind of gave myself a fold right here. It's not going to be perfect. It's okay. It was beautiful, even though it wasn't perfect. So I fold up this way. Yes, there are envelope punch things, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so then, oh, Mary, I'm seeing your, okay, add a bow. Oh, that might be wonderful, Mary. I might do that. So now I'm going to take my second side and I am going to fold it in and just press this down. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. And then what you have, and we'll do the flap in just a moment, but I'm going to start with the bottom. So I'm going to trim away these triangles. And it was definitely easier to see on this light side. You can do this on your trimmer and just cut from the intersections out. But I found it was not too hard with the scissors, so just did it. Just trimming that away. If you are a super uber perfectionist, you would probably want to get yourself an envelope punch board, which just gives you a little bit more precise lines and measurements and all that good stuff. So here is what this should look like. I would fold this piece up, and then I have this piece in here. If you and then this piece folds over here. And I'm pretty sure, well, I didn't do it, but when I designed it, one of my coworkers actually did it. I did the insides like this, and then I folded this up. And then you can actually find your crease up here. So I'll open this up, then fold this piece back in. And again, I'm going to go ahead and trim out these corner pieces, these triangles. And I found when cutting the triangles, if you cut into this side of the crease, it helps with that folding on the card a little bit easier. So see here, I have a little too much extra here, so I might trim that up. I promise once it's done, nobody will ever know the imperfections. Only you know. Now I'm going to have to make another 5x5 card because I have an envelope ready for it, right? All right, so again, could do these two sides in. I don't know, I didn't center it this way, so we might, this is how you do things on the fly. You can actually trim across here. And now we're going to turn this into our flap at the top. And we can go like this. And now that is all hidden. And then fold this flap down. And what I did, we didn't use any adhesive at all. I actually used this gorgeous ribbon, which is our burlap ribbon. Let me see, is it burlap? Natural finish ribbon. We do have a burlap ribbon as well with our Valentine stuff. So I took this and created a bow like this. Ooh, that's how you know you're on live, when things start falling to the floor and rolling away. Let's see. Because now I have all of this ribbon bound down here. It's just a little tag. So you could put a gift card inside there. You could put a letter, a handwritten letter. We added a gift card for our gift. And there you go. And you could have put the bow on either side. It doesn't matter, but that is how to make the envelope. I'm going to untie this and share that you could put your adhesive right here and simply have a standard envelope. But that's just one way to use 12 by 12 without any major measurements or anything. I could have trimmed it down so that it wasn't quite so big, but this worked out well. And if you have one of those 3-in-1 punches, you could even round these corners or just this one so that it's nice and fancy. You can mail this. I don't know if it's one standard stamp or to put more than one at this point. I would always add more because everything just keeps going up in price. So that is number 2. I mean, you can really do this anyway. If you are a super big perfectionist, you could even add a little bit of adhesive here, fold it over, here, fold it over, and then who's going to know? Nobody's going to know. All right, so that is our live for tonight. Last little bit is to get those orders in by January 31st. Don't forget to use the host code. It is in my description. And that's it. I hope you all have a great night, and I'll see you later. Don't forget to come back and look for my picture of the finished product.